Hi, my name is Brent Satoris, and I'm here with Search Engine Journal at PubCon Vegas. I've got with me today Greg Finn from Cypress North, and we're going to talk a little bit about social. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Twitter. You're speaking about Twitter. What specifically are you speaking about in your session on Twitter?
Yeah, so we had a really good session that kind of took a look at not only the tools that people can use to perform better, but also the fact that at the end of the day, it's the messaging and it's going out there on a consistent basis, being awesome, and finding ways for brands, users, people like that to, really push themselves in a consistent way that, again, it's valuable to folks and make you want to actually follow them.
Well, I think it's really interesting because you're one of my favorite people for Twitter, to be honest. I mean, me and you spoke at a conference once together where I covered Facebook and you covered Twitter, and I actually took your deck back and I ended up using that as to create a big part of the change in my strategy for Twitter, and we've been having quite a bit of success on Twitter since then. So I definitely think that you're one of the go-to guys when it comes to Twitter and actually making it work. I mean, it's one thing to just do updates, but to really understand the finer points of how an update actually leads to somebody following you, to a conversion, to having an ROI. With Twitter's IPO coming, I have some personal questions I'm interested in your take on. What do you feel? Twitter's basically been a mobile app. I mean, most people always complain that, everybody uses it on their mobile phone, and there's only so much advertising you can do. What do you feel about their IPO? What do you feel about their opportunities that they might use to kind of continue to improve their revenue opportunities? For a starting point, I'd love to hear your thoughts on those.
Yeah, I think that's first off, thank you, and second off, I think it's a really great question. And the one thing that we really saw with Facebook was the fact that they went public and really scrambled a bit, and came back stronger with solidified ads and a real methodology of monetization. And I think we've seen a little glimpse there of Twitter with the lead generation cards, where with a click of a button you can send your information over to a brand or an advertiser. And just think of it in the same way if you ever connected a wallet or any other kinds of transactional value, and you can just right within Twitter, boom, buy something like that. Those are things that could essentially happen, and
Sure.
It's going on right now with the lead gen card. So I think that's a really nice ad unit that they put out there, and looking for more to come, especially once they see that they have to show that ad revenue coming in.
And do you feel like, what about an average user? Is the ad system in Twitter really more for companies? Can an average user really get value out of it, or is it just too much money? I know when I was playing with LinkedIn ads, one of the things that I would find is that the cost per click was insane. So if you weren't really looking for very targeted kind of clicks, it would be a little, too expensive for the average person. What is your thoughts on Twitter ads for average person versus businesses?
Yeah, that's a good question. It really depends on what your metric is. The nice thing that to me I love about Twitter, and I was on a panel at SMX Social last year where Guy Yalif of Twitter, head of product, had made it a firm point in his talk that Twitter is always going to be unfiltered. And things like Facebook, you have that filtration system where you don't always see content. You have to pay to promote posts.
Sure.
So if your goal is to say, we want to build more users, and that every one of those tweets are going to be seen, there's a lot of value there, where in Facebook you can have a great audience and you still might not be able to hit people. So, I guess in terms of ads, if you're trying to get people to follow you so that you can have certified touch points on every one of your tweets, that's great, and I would say, use Twitter ads there. The thing where it can get a little hairy is on things like promoted trends, when you're in six figures for trend and branding and things like that. But I would definitely check it out. They're making a lot of strides on the platform. And again, just look at your goals. And if you're trying to get people off site to make a conversion on your website, use a tweet that has a link in it. And if you're trying to brand, just put out an awesome tweet and hope that people see that and want to give you the follow.
Perfect. So if anybody wanted to get in touch with you, they had more questions, they needed a bit more of a strategy on Twitter specifically, or anything else, what would be a good way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, I am at Greg Finn on Twitter, and my company is Cypress North. We're also on Twitter at Cypress North. And you can check out the website, give me a holler. I think all my email information is right there on my Twitter background as well. So
Perfect.
Keep it right there on Twitter.
Thanks, Greg. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Brent.